Do not throw away the mesh bag that comes with fruits or vegetables, as it can always be put to good use. Empty the contents, rinse the bag thoroughly and let it dry. Fold the bag into a rectangle or roll it up into a ball. It makes a great scrubber for cleaning and tidying up. To help it hold its shape, you can sew it or place it in a small garlic mesh bag. Tie knots on both ends. This scrubber is great for washing any dishes, easily removing hardened dough and non-stick pans without scratching or damaging them. When cleaning fresh fish, dip your fingers in coarse salt to prevent it from slipping out of your hands. Start cleaning from the head towards the bag, as it will be much faster. For fish with small scales such as perch, it is best to clean them under running water. First, cut off the sharp protective fins to avoid injuring your hands. Cleaning under running water will prevent small scales from flying around. Try using a small convenient knife or fork to clean it. Gut the cleaned fish, rinse it under running water, and remove the gills before cooking. Cut the fish into portion-sized pieces. The more different types of fish used in the soup, the tastier it will be. To start, make the broth. Pour water into a pot. Add an unpeeled onion, which will make the broth more transparent. Add fish heads, fins, and tails. Place the pot on the stove and bring to a boil, skimming off any foam that appears with a strainer. Reduce heat to low so that the water doesn't boil too much. Add a little salt to the broth to make it tastier. Add black peppercorns, a couple of allspice berries, and dried celery or parsley root. Do not cover the pot with a lid. Cook the broth for 30–35 minutes. Strain the finished broth. Put the pot back on the stove and add vegetables. A few pieces of carrots, a little chopped onion, and a couple of potatoes. As soon as the broth boils, add the portion-sized pieces of fish, salt, and freshly squeezed lemon juice, which will make the broth more transparent and prevent the fish from falling apart. Cook the soup for 20–25 minutes. Cook the soup for 20–25 minutes, which is enough time for freshwater fish. Add bay leaves 5 minutes before the soup is ready, and remove them later. When the soup is cooked, let it sit for 15–20 minutes with the lid closed. Before serving, sprinkle with fresh herbs, dill or parsley. If fresh herbs are not available, frozen ones can be used. Wash the lemon thoroughly under running water before use, using a sponge and special cleaning products if necessary. After rinsing, pour boiling water over the lemon to avoid getting burned. Then use a fork to hold it in place. Today we will need lemon zest. Dry the washed lemon and use a small grater to remove the zest, taking only the thin yellow part and avoiding the bitter white part. 1 teaspoon of zest is enough from 1 lemon, so freeze the rest in a small container for later use. In a deep bowl, beat eggs with salt and sweetener to taste until the mixture triples in volume and lightens in color. Add melted butter, whether it's clarified, unsalted, or vegetable oil, and mix well. Next, add room temperature kefir and baking soda gradually. Add whole grain rice flour and mix the batter until it becomes homogeneous. This batter makes an excellent cake, so let's add raisins to it. To prevent raisins from sinking to the bottom of the cake, mix them with a little flour. Soak the raisins in warm water for 15 minutes, rinse well, and dry them off. In addition to raisins, add lemon zest and mix these ingredients with a spatula. Line a baking dish with parchment paper so that it sticks to the sides and stays in place. Then moisten it with water. Pour the batter into the dish, level it out, and bake the cake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 45 minutes. During baking, cracks may appear on the surface of the cake. To smooth them out a bit, try this trick. Without removing the cake from the dish, cool it for 15 minutes. Then cover it with another sheet of parchment paper and wrap it tightly with plastic wrap. Let the cake cool completely in this state. The crack will close up a bit and the paper will absorb all the moisture. Now you can remove the cake and cut it into portions. The cake is delicious, with a pleasant, creamy taste and a citrusy flavor. Let's make a dressing for a vegetable salad. Mix olive oil and vegetable oil in equal parts. Add freshly squeezed lemon juice, mild mustard, oregano, basil, and a little white pepper. Salt to taste. The salty dressing allows you to avoid adding salt to the vegetables, so they won't release too much juice. To chop garlic, it's much easier and more convenient to use a knife than a garlic press, and it requires less washing up. Crush the garlic clove and cut it into smaller pieces. Rub the garlic on a cutting board with a pinch of salt to make it easier and faster. After a few seconds, you'll have an excellent garlic paste. Add it to the salad dressing and mix well. Store the dressing in the fridge for up to 5 days. For the salad, take a few leaves of iceberg lettuce and store it in a suitable bag or container that can be sealed. Pour water into the resultant indentation so that the lettuce stays crispy for longer. In the off-season, the taste of fresh tomatoes from the store leaves something to be desired, but there is a way to improve them a bit. Pour hot water into a deep container about 50 to 55 degrees Celsius. Dip the tomatoes into this water and leave for 20 minutes. Then remove the tomatoes and let them cool completely. This process significantly improves the taste and aroma. Next, cut the tomatoes into wedges and place them in a sieve or colander. Sprinkle with a little sugar or any sweetener. Leave for 10 minutes. During this time, all the excess liquid will drain away and the tomatoes can be added to the salad. We will need feta cheese or similar brine cheese. It should be cut into neat, pretty cubes. To do this, do not rush to remove it from the packaging. Cut off 2 corners of the package and it will come off easily. To make the cheese cubes even and not fall apart, dip the knife in cold water. All that's left is to assemble the salad. Tear the iceberg lettuce leaves by hand. Add tomato wedges, sliced cucumbers, bell peppers, and a little red onion. Dress with the dressing and add some olives. Finally, top with beautiful cubes of brine cheese.